Webster's dictionary defines wedding as the fusing of two metals with a hot torch. Well, you know something? I think you guys are two metals, gold medals.
Now, their relationship really started at the Wizard of Oz. There was a possibility that Drew wasn't even going to be in the Wizard of Oz that year. He was in baseball. And I remember him talking to me about this. He was really struggling because he loved baseball and he played it for a really long time. But you know what? He saw this potential in Jamie. So over time, he built up his courage.
So today, Christina and I are going to give you a list of what it means to be a Varvel and what it means to be married to a Varvel. You must learn to love the cinnamon rolls made from leftover pie crust. That is something that my mom made because her mom made it. Varvels think these are the best things in the entire world. Outsiders may call them, and I quote, worst cinnamon roll I've ever had.
Are you related to that cartoonist guy? In which you will proudly put your chin up and say, yes, that's my father-in-law. You will get two responses. The first one is, oh, I just love him, he's so good, he nails it every time. Or they'll politely nod and change the subject. Stay away from them. You do not associate with those people.
If I'm being completely honest with you, when Drew told me about Jamie and his little infatuation with Jamie for the first time, I had my doubts. I'll just be honest. But then time progressed, and they started dating even further into their senior year. And I was like, whoa. And she was a little shy around our family in the beginning. And that didn't sit too well with me, if I'm being quite honest. In 2009, you took your first Varvel family vacation to Florida. You remember this? Okay. Do you remember what we did at the end of the week? We started making faces. You did not join in. And I thought, she's not the one. She's just not the one.
I saw this wonderful side of my friend that I didn't even know existed, and it was because of Jamie. So more and more, it became very, very clear that he had Jamie on the brain. So, in the case you're not picking up the theme here, it's pretty obvious where we're going next.
You must get used to pitching practice in the house. This is something all Varvels do, but you'll learn to love this giant leap across the room with a manly grunt. Brett, would you like to demonstrate for us, please?
Be prepared to go to bed alone. A lot. When that happens, when he has some deadline coming up for some video project or whatever, just give him a kiss goodnight, say, I'll see you in the morning, and when you wake up, sure enough, you'll be seeing him sitting there with his other wife, the Mac.
It became very clear that these people, these beautiful people that I know and love, were very quickly not becoming two people, but they were becoming a united entity. It became very, very clear over the years, and I had the beautiful pleasure to see them as they began to share one heart.
But still, when I looked at this couple, I saw my baby brother and a little girl that I've known for a long time. And I thought, I just don't know if they have that true, genuine love that just burns inside of me that I have for my wife. That entire perspective changed last year. Of course, last summer, many of you probably know, is the summer that Drew caught on fire. And I was just so glad he was okay. This is my little baby brother we're talking about. From that moment that I got that phone call until Drew was fully recovered and even beyond, I never saw Jamie leave his side. One night I was over at the house, and Drew had just gotten finished getting his bandages changed. And Drew and Jamie were just sitting on the couch. And I just kind of stared at him for a moment. They were staring at each other. And in that moment, I saw true love. Love that is sacrificial. Love that is genuine. Love that knows no obstacles. Love that is faithful. And in that moment, I saw for the first time what Drew had seen for the past 6 years, that you are his soulmate.
Jamie, obviously you and Drew are your own family now, and you're gonna make your own memories and traditions. You picked a great husband. I'm biased because he's my baby brother, but he is truly a great man, and I'm so proud of him. I'm equally as proud to call you my sister. I remember telling Drew not long after you started dating that I thought you were the perfect match for him because you just get him. I love you both so much, and I pray that God blesses your marriage and leads you down the path He wants you to go.
Drew, last night at the rehearsal dinner, you told me that I was your hero. Well, in all actuality, if we're being honest with each other, from the moment you came into this world, I wanted nothing more than for you to just like me. When you were taking your first steps, I would sit on the living room floor and hope that you would come to me, and you wouldn't. You had this little saxophone toy that I wanted to play with. You wouldn't let me play with it. I craved your affection and your love. And if the truth be told, you are really my hero. Because Superman is the only man who can catch on fire and live to tell the tale. I love you. To Drew and Jamie.